Good afternoon, Ricky from North Carolina here, coming at you with another video, and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd do records of the day. I got two records again, same record, different pressings, but as I told you guys before, I've been collecting records for 12 years, and I somewhat stopped and, been collecting cards all the way through somewhat, but really hot and heavy into cards. Still am. Still buy records when I see a deal or, can trade and get something I like, something tickles my fancy, so to say. And I'm not selling, I've sold a lot of records to the new joint in town. And I'm not selling my good stuff. I still have my good stuff, I call it. I haven't sold any of that. And because I've seen a lot of people that do that, sell all their records off and regret it, later, or sell all their cards off and regret it. And I don't want to do that unless I have to. If something comes along, life changing, life altering, I might have to do that. We all go through that phase maybe in our life that we have to sell off stuff we don't want to do. I've had to do it, before. So anyway, I still got my good records, and thought I'd show you a couple today that I've had one for about 4 years, and one I've had for probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. And yeah, I've been collecting jazz. I got into jazz. I wasn't exposed to jazz as a young person, and don't know what made me get into it really back in 2012 when I started collecting again. But I guess I heard it somewhere, and I just love it. I just fell in love with it. The post-bop jazz back in the late 50s and 60s, mainly. Non-vocal jazz, mainly. There is some exceptions, but mainly non-vocal jazz. And, the three instrument jazz, the quartets, the quintets, stuff like that. But what I got for you today is this one is called, I would more say, this one is free jazz. And by that I mean it's kind of out there, it's kind of spacey like. And it took me a little while to get used to it, but after I got used to it, I play it all the time. And it's Eric Dolphy, Out to Lunch, and he's kind of spacey. This is from 1964, and it's on the Blue Note label. I just love these covers, man. Blue Note come up with some, it's kind of weird covers, but I just love these covers, man. I'm gonna show you more Blue Notes. I have quite a few Blue Notes, and if you're jazz, if you know anything about jazz, Blue Note is a kind of staple of jazz. That and Verve and Prestige and things like that. But Blue Note is the main thing to go for. And they can get quite expensive, and they really don't go down in value, they go up in value. And this is no exception, and we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, this is a mono version, pressed in mono. And show you the label. It's the Blue Note. Oh, I don't want to take it all out. Anyway, you can get the gist of it. Blue Note. And it's a micro groove. When you see that micro groove, you can more or less know it's mono neural, long playing. And that's the more sought after in the jazz world than stereo. See if I can, yeah. Long playing micro groove. It's got this groove around it. See this groove around it, micro groove. It's deep grooves, what they call deep grooves. When you see this groove, it's a deep groove. Actually, it is a groove around the label, and called this deep groove. And the label on here is New York, USA. Okay, this is 1964. Okay, we're getting in the latter part of the New York labels. Okay, there's that one. And I also got, this will look a little better to you, cover will. This is another Out to Lunch. And this is, looks the same, right? Yeah, the cover looks the same. It's actually, the cover's on the back. You can see this. It's actually, if you can see that in the bottom, it's got a New York address. A New York address. And I'll show you the bottom of the other one. This is the original 1964. Oops. Excuse me. You can see that. Same thing, New York address. Okay? Yeah. 43 West 61st Street, New York. And this one, the one I just got a couple weeks ago, it says 43 West 61st Street, New York, 23. Same thing. But what I'm going to show you is, keep trying to show you this, this has the New York address on there, if you can see that, right in here. It's in New York, USA, 1964. I know I'm going back and forth. This one says a division of Liberty Records, okay? You can see that right around here, a division of Liberty Records. You see that? Division of Liberty Records. This is a 1966, the one I got a couple weeks ago. This is a 1966 pressing, where the other one is a 1964, what I told you. Okay, this is a stereo. And it says stereo on it. Okay. Okay. Liberty bought out Blue Note in 1966. And I think they held that title until 1970. And I can't remember who they sold it to. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll think of it. Probably after the video. Anyway, United Artists. I think they sold it to United Artists. Anyway, they held that title for about 4 years. So they were in the transition period. Actually, you can get a Liberty record in 1966 and still have a New York label on the record and on the cover. Like this one still has the New York label on the cover. Okay, it's a transitional period where they just used what they had up. Okay, so you've got a 1964 down there, mono original, and then this one is a Liberty stereo, 1966. And somehow, I don't know, these Liberties sound better. They were kept up better than the older Blue Notes. I don't know why. It won't a couple years difference. Won't like it's 20 years, 30 years difference, but I don't know why they seem to be been kept up. My experience, they're seem less scratches and less surface noise, and just my experience. But anyway. Now, price-wise, like I say, Blue Notes are expensive. And there's there's two or three, maybe a handful of artists that, you know, that did the Blue Note label that are not that expensive, and there's the rest of them are really expensive. Eric Dolphy is one of them. He's pretty expensive. The median value on this record, and this is an older one, this is 1964, okay, this is original mono. The median value on this one is $365. The high is 2,000, the low is 70, so the median is 365. It's gone up considerably since I bought this. I've had this about, like I say, about 4 years. It hasn't gone up a whole lot, but it's gone up pretty much. And so, you know, good chunk of money for a record. I know I'm going back and forth. Okay, this Liberty pressing that I just got, and I traded for this one. I traded 2 or 3 records to get this one. And the median value on this one is 91. So you can see the big difference in the original New York label and the Liberty label. There's a big difference. And Liberty's catching up. More collectors are going for these Liberty pressings because it's hard to get the New York pressings originals in great shape. So more people are going towards these Liberty pressings. I read our article about that not too long ago, and more people are going towards these Liberty pressings. And I saw this one, it don't have any scratches on it, and I had a chance to trade a couple records for it, and that's what I did. Didn't have the cash, but I had a couple trade records. And where mine original has a little surface noise, and most of them do. If you know how to look up records on Discogs, you can go in to see the records for sale, and they all have a little thing beside very good or very good, even very good plus, saying that they show signs of being handled. And some of them say have surface noise, but don't overpower the music. So, you know, they all have something going on there. It's hard to find one that's dead quiet and everything, unless you buy a repress. Now, you can go buy a repress for $25, $30. And, you know, if you're just starting out, probably I would suggest doing that. If you're just starting out collecting records, I would go buy a repress. I guess this is a repress. Most of the records are. And that's what I would suggest doing instead of buying original. So anyway, records of the day. Eric Dolphy, Out to Lunch. One of my mini jazz records. I'll be showing you jazz records. And I have more than the Blue Notes. I have some on Prestige, some on Verve, different things, different labels. They're all popular. And I just got so many records over here. We'll mix that in with your cards and different things that I collect. So as always, we're going 13 minutes. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video and just have a good rest of your day.